So, we're going to talk about the importance of the first practice for gaining trust from others, the players and the parents in you as a coach. The first thing you need to really do is understand that you need to dress like a coach. You know, the John Wooden, who was one of the most winningest coaches of all time, said the way you dress is the first thing people notice. It sets the tone before you even say a word. And that's true. If you look like a coach, you're going to have more authority, more credibility, some gravitas, and your players will notice that. If you come straight from work, you're dressed in a suit, you're dressed not necessarily to be honest. And with your players, it's not quite the same effect as being dressed like a soccer coach. There was a 2008, behavior study from the International Journal of Sports Science and Coaching, and it emphasized that nonverbal behavior, including how you dress, strongly affects the athlete's trust and your perceived credibility in their eyes. So hugely important. Equally, a while back, there was a Forbes survey where it said that 55% of first impressions are all based on your appearance, and they form them within the first 7 seconds. So right off the bat, make sure you're dressing like a coach, and so you have that instant credibility, even if you're a brand new coach and it's your first practice. Okay, next, you need to set up early. You need to get to practice early before your players arrive and set up what you're going to be doing for the day. Believe me, if you're a new coach, this is going to bring your level of anxiety and stress down and calm things for you and slow it down a little bit, because you'll be prepared to move from one drill to the next, from one practice training plan to the next. It just sets the tone. It also gets your players really excited. They arrive at practice, they get out of the car, and they see things are set. That gets them excited. It gets them thinking about practice, gets them in the right mindset. Parents also will recognize that as a coach, you're prepared, that you take coaching seriously. Again, even if it's a rec program, there's just a big difference if you arrive at practice and are all set up and ready to go and ready to greet people, rather than you're driving your car in, you park at the same time as the rest of the kids. They're running around, messing around while you're trying to set up for the day. It just sets a different tone and really engenders trust in your ability as a coach. Make players feel welcome. Greet them by their name. Get to know their names, right? Like if you don't know what their day was like, right? You don't know if the good day, bad day, if they've got something really rough going on at home. You don't know what's going on in their life. So great coaches greet players like they're the most important person in the world, because in that moment in your world, they are the most important person. You're going to coach them. So be ready. Greet them with a fist pump. Greet them with a high five. Make sure that they know that you're excited they're there. There was a UC Berkeley study on pro-social behavior that said positive physical contact, like a high five, increases oxytocin, which fosters a trust and openness. And you'll see it. You'll see that players, when you greet them with a smile and a high five or a fist pump, it really makes a huge difference. Even teenagers, even the most difficult teenage age teams, it just makes a big difference because you're showing them that you care about them right out of the gate. Learn their names immediately. This goes along with it, right? Especially your first practice. Do everything you can to learn their names. Help them learn each other's names. That'll create a sense of teamwork, a more easy comfort level between the players and you. As you use their names and know their names, it's just going to make it a lot easier to create that relationship of trust. By the next practice, if you've learned the names and you greet them by their name when they come, you're going to see a huge difference in the way that your practices go. It makes a big difference. In fact, Dale Carnegie said, "A person's name is to him or her the sweetest and most important sound in the language." And that's true of any language or any place around the world, right? What they hear isn't just hearing their name. What they hear is that they have an identity. And that's a really good way to start with your player. So the next, and this doesn't matter whether it's your rec level or your club level or academy or high school coach, it's very important that you have a structure, especially your first practice, but probably all of your practice, of what you want to do for that day and the timing involved with what you're doing, what your coaching points are, what your plan is and what you intend to accomplish according to the philosophy you've already established or what your goals are for the season. So it's important in that first practice, This is a very simple structure. A warm up to start can be any type of warm up. Some coaches like to do stretches, and some coaches like to start right into, a ball at the feet, whatever your philosophy. But start with a warm up, get their minds mentally there. There's been studies that show, in particular, boys and girls of younger ages, they get to practice. And if you give them that 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to socialize a little bit while they're warming up, in any type of warm up, it allows them to get all that excitement of seeing their teammates and you as a coach out, so that then they can focus the rest of practice. And the level of participation in practice and focus and concentration goes up as a result. Establish the focus of your practice and your coaching points right up front. That allows you to be able to stay focused and communicate the things you want to communicate to your players. It also helps players' anxiety go down because they know this is what we're focused on. These were the things we're going to be talking about. It's just a great way, especially in the first training session, to help things flow smoothly and for people to feel comfortable and have confidence in what you're teaching them. Then, of course, you're going to go into your, whether it be drills or training or game-like experience or whatever it is you coach. Just make sure you stay organized and on time, and then finish with something specific. Either recap your coaching points, do speed and agility. Make sure you kind of have a wind down in the last 5 to 10 minutes as well, so that the practice has a structure, a beginning, a middle, and an end that match what you want to accomplish, especially the first practice, gaining that trust in your players and your coaching abilities. That goes for a beginning coach. That goes all the way to an advanced coach. And so you always want to make sure you're following that pattern. Last thing, and this is more about tone for the season, right? And this is really based on your philosophy. But if you're having your first practice and you're a rec team and it's really more just a social, fun, get together to play soccer environment, make sure your practice matches that you have some fun things planned so that it matches that. If you're a more serious club team with a much more intense set of goals for the season, your practice might be very intense. Set the tone. Let the players know, hey, if I come to practice and we're going to play a 90-minute game, we're going to go do a 90 to 120-minute practice that is fully intense. Set the tone in your first practice. Whatever it may be, from the lightest thing to the most hard thing, you need to make sure that you're setting that tone. Last thing, and this is super important. Again, this kind of is about the engendering that trust and setting the tone, but start on time, finish on time, especially the first practice. You should strive to do that every practice, but especially the first practice. It just shows that you respect your players, parents, and their time of getting there and delivering them on time to the practice and then ending on time. If you want parents to show up and bring their kids on time to practice to start on time, then you need to end on time so they can get to other places they need to go. These are a number of coaching tips that I've learned over the years from great mentors about how to structure that first practice and the approach to take and why it's so important. If you have other ideas that you want to share or other things that we want to add to this curriculum on this course, by all means, share it in the community. Have a great day.